Hello and welcome to episode 4 of the Indila Podcast. I'm Joey,
And I'm Utku.
and today we are going to be talking about Tourner Dans Le Vide, talking about the song and the music video of this masterpiece, which has got more than 440 million views around the entire world now. Utku, do you remember when you first heard Tourner Dans Le Vide?
I was just taking my time on the internet and I saw another clips of Indila because I saw Daniel dance on the television in number one, if you know that. And then I tried to discover it and I saw it and I watched and I fell in love.
Yeah, I also knew Daniel Dance first.
Hmm.
And Tourné dans le vide might have been the second one I watched, or SOS, and
Hmm.
it was then when I realized that, all of her music videos are like real films. And it's
Hmm.
not just any dance, they all are like wonderful productions. And I didn't understand any of the lyrics, but I just thought her voice was so beautiful, and the lyrics also were clearly saying something very powerful. So Uh, both of us, since becoming friends
Yes.
with Indila, have learned French now, more or less. So now that you understand the lyrics, what do you think about them? What do you think of the story of this song?
I never thought about this before, like because I was 13 years old or something. But now I can understand that she's trying to tell us a story. But I think it's not a story that like she's not reflecting her life. She's just making a story and trying to give these feelings to us. Maybe these feelings are same in her heart, but it's a different reflection. Um, as I understand, she just felt so bad in the time. Maybe there were some things that hurt her, and she wanted to reflect these feelings with this music, with these lyrics, and with this clip also. So that if we feel something else, even if it's not the exact thing that she lived before, we can understand the feelings, the same feelings with her.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I often think that if a song is too specific about one person's life, okay, it's full of feeling for them, but then for the listeners who have not experienced that story, it's not so engaging. There's always a balance to strike between personal details and a kind of
Hmm.
general a mood which we can all feel.
Hmm.
And yeah, I also think that this song is very applicable to many different people. I think it's quite similar to Romeo and Juliet in some ways by Shakespeare, where
Yes,
it's like
exactly.
different social class and it's not acceptable for obviously Indira is in this song, she's supposedly higher class. She's supposedly, supposed to marry a prince, but she falls in love with
Hmm.
the son of a worker. And it also exemplifies, it's an example of what she says about music having no barriers, right? There's no barriers in life. Even social class is not a barrier. It doesn't matter that the man is, from a poor background.
Yes, she also reflects her points of view to these people that uh, loves to her pain. Maybe she also saw these people before, you never know, but uh, she just tried to tell us something about it, I think. I believe it.
Yeah, I think so. I remember when I was learning French, I was very basic in French and I just learned the word j'espère, like I hope.
Hmm.
And I was really excited when I listened to this song. I already knew it a little bit, but then I listened to it and I heard j'espère le revoir and I thought, aha, I know that word. I'm recognizing something.
We
So
were always like this.
yeah, yeah,
That's what motivates us.
exactly. It motivates you when the more you learn, the more you know about these songs, the more you understand them. And the music video is very interesting because, as I say, it's like a film, but it's not just a standalone film. It links back to Dernière Danse. So she arrives wearing the jeans jacket, and then she takes it off for a splendid
Hmm.
dress. And I always imagine that it's kind of like chronological, like she's been thrown out of Paris and now she arrives at this chateau. What do you think about that?
Hmm. When she enters this chateau, she wasn't happy at all. Like we can see that, and these instrument players were crying. Um, so maybe she tried to tell us that she forced to be in an environment that she doesn't want to be, but she is there because she loves someone in there. And she wants to like leave all of her ego at the beginning and try to catch something really humanistic, natural feelings, I mean.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, she talks about in the song, these superficial people who don't
Hmm.
know they don't know anything that comes from the heart. They don't know pain, dizziness, work, but it kind of implies that, you know, if you're sort of true to yourself, you do know these things. You follow your emotions and you know
Hmm.
about la douleur. Yeah,
Even if it's hard.
yeah, exactly. And then you're not, if you don't know about these things, you ignore your heart, then
Hmm.
maybe you look happy, but you're falsely happy. And
Exactly.
yeah, it's it's a very interesting message, I think, and it has some relevance, across many different areas.
Exactly. As we know from Parler tête, Indila loves to give symbolic um, stuffs from her like video clips.
Hmm. Absolutely. And they all link. It's so curious how
Yes.
they all link. Like at the end of Tourner Dans Le Vide, she becomes that statue that we see in SOS. And Tourner Dans Le Vide was filmed in a magnificent chateau called the Château de Ferrières, just a little east of Paris, actually very close to Disneyland.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's this magnificent scenery. It's got the lake beside it. It's clearly gorgeous. And we get to see it in the daytime and mostly the night.
Hmm.
And it's really atmospheric. And Tourne dans le Vide was the second single that Indila released in
Hmm.
February or March 2014. And it was, very, very successful in France. I mean, I think basically every French person of that kind of age knows Tourne dans le Vide, Vide. But
Of
then
course.
over years and years, it became more and more successful outside of France. But in 2019, it became really popular in many different countries, even countries that traditionally were not kind of Indila countries, like America and Brazil.
Hmm.
I think a lot of it was like it was used as background in, popular YouTube videos and stuff, but it's just continued to gain more and more views, and it shows something about the timelessness of the music.
Okay, guys. Joy just recorded an interview with Houari Baït. So I'm sending you there. Hope you enjoy.
You will now hear the conversation that I had with Houari Baït, the fils d'ouvrier from the clip Tourner dans le Vide. And my first question was, how did he come to participate in this clip? He was an actor, but what was the story? Who contacted him?
Eh bien, en fait, j'ai tourné une série télé sur TF1, la chaîne, la première chaîne de France. Et la personne qui m'a mis dans cette série, elle m'a dit, écoute, Wari, il y a un petit projet. Je ne connaissais pas la chanteuse, hein, je la connaissais pas. Il y a un projet de clip, c'est une chanteuse, mais je ne le connaissais pas. Et du coup, vas-y, pourquoi pas faire le casting pour cela. Et du coup, je suis allé au studio d'Avou. C'est un studio d'enregistrement pour chansons. Et je suis allé là-bas et il y avait plein de gens qui font le casting, qui ont fait le casting. Et, euh, et donc, je suis rentré dans cette salle. J'ai vu l'équipe d'Indila que je ne connaissais pas. Et je connaissais pas la chanteuse d'ailleurs d'Indila, je la connaissais pas. Je savais pas qu'elle avait fait Dernière danse. Je n'avais pas écouté la chanson, donc je savais pas. Et moi, je suis rentré, bah non, comme si que voilà un casting normal, sans me prendre la tête. Et, euh, et je pense que je suis rentré avec sincérité et normalité, normal. Et je suis arrivé, donc j'ai vu l'équipe d'Indila avec Sklapovic. Je sais pas si vous connaissez Sklapovic.
Ouais,
C'est le producteur de musique. Et ils m'ont demandé de faire le casting. Donc, il y avait la Indila à côté. Ils m'ont demandé de faire un sculpteur, mais, mais un sculpteur timide. Je sais pas si vous voyez ce que je veux dire. Un
ouais,
sculpteur qui, qui sculpte ils m'ont demandé de sculpter une sculpture imaginaire. Donc, j'étais en train de sculpter. Et je devais être timide. Elle devait passer vers moi et je devais avoir un regard timide. Et, euh, et c'est vrai qu'à l'époque, j'avais plus de cheveux à l'époque, mais à l'époque, j'étais brun et beaucoup de cheveux et le teint basané, bah, comme moi là aujourd'hui, il était brun, le teint basané. Donc voilà, c'était pile poil le rôle, mais moi je ne savais pas. Donc du coup, je suis sorti sans me prendre la tête. Merci, merci, vous me donnerez la réponse après. Et, euh, et finalement, quelques jours après, parce que j'ai vu des gens, j'ai vu quand ils ont passé le casting, j'ai vu on va dire des mannequins, des gens vraiment très beaux, très impressionnants. Mais eux, ce qu'ils voulaient, quelqu'un de vrai, quelqu'un d'authentique. Vous voyez. Et, euh, et du coup, quelques jours ont passé et ils m'ont appelé en me disant, bah, écoute, on t'a choisi toi. Quand on t'a choisi toi, donc j'étais très content. J'ai dit, bah, merci, merci beaucoup. Mais je connaissais pas la chanteuse quand ils m'ont dit ça.
Well, in fact, I was making a television series on TF1, the main tele. Well, in fact, I was making a television series on TF1, the main television channel in France, and the person who put me in this series said to me, "Listen, Houari, there's a little project for a music video," but I didn't know the singer, and I thought, okay, why not do the casting for that? So then I went to Studio Davou, a recording studio in Paris, and there were many people who were auditioning for the role. Then I went into the hall and saw Indila's team, who I didn't know. Of course, I didn't know Indila either, or the song Dernière Danse. And I went in to do a normal audition without stressing too much about it. And I met Indila and her team, including Skalpovic, her producer. They asked me to play the role of a sculptor, but a shy sculptor. They asked me to create an imaginary sculpture, and I had to be shy, with a shy gaze. And so I did it. I played the role. And back then, I had more hair than I have now, and my hair was brown, and I had a tanned complexion, like Il était brun, le temps basané. Many of the other men in the audition were like dolls, looking perfect. But Indila wanted somebody shy and authentic. And then I left without thinking too much about it. They said, "Thank you. We'll be in touch to let you know how it went." And then, several days later, they phoned me and said, "We've chosen you." I was I was very happy and I said, "Thank you very much." And I still didn't really know Indila's music when they said that.
Then you went to the Château Ferrières, I think, close to Paris.
Au château, exactement. Alors en fait, donc ils m'ont dit que c'était moi, donc j'ai dit ok, c'est super. Après, je suis allé sur Google, j'ai regardé Indila et j'ai vu tout ce qu'il y avait derrière. Mais je ne la connaissais pas du coup. Donc le jour J, je suis allé au château de Ferrières
Mhm.
euh, et donc je suis rentré au château et je suis rentré par la porte, par la mauvaise porte. Je me suis trompé de porte. Donc moi je suis rentré bonjour, qui êtes-vous? Et là Indila m'a dit ah bonjour Houarî. Et c'est vrai que je voyais tout le monde se tourner vers moi. Je comprenais pas pourquoi ils se tournaient vers moi. Les comédiens qui jouaient la scène.
Ouais.
Et, euh, et après j'ai compris parce que ils avaient installé ma photo sur
Mhm.
le tableau, un tableau où vous avez mis un fond vert. Du coup, les gens, ils ont vu que c'était moi. Du coup, je suis rentré. J'ai vu cette photo. J'ai dit, ah oui, d'accord, ok. Parce que Indila, elle devait regarder, quand elle donne la bague,
Mhm.
elle devait regarder la photo, ma photo. Elle
Mhm.
devait regarder mon visage. Donc ensuite, je suis rentré. Ils se sont occupés de moi. Ils m'ont maquillé, ils m'ont coiffé. Ils m'ont donné un costume de,
Okay.
de sculpteur.
Ouais.
Et ensuite, ils m'ont dit, bon, c'est l'heure de manger, on va aller manger. C'était pas tout de suite moi encore. On est parti manger. Et là, j'ai vu tous les comédiens, très bons comédiens, notamment Sébastien Ninoc,
Ouais.
Sébastien,
Ouais.
le prince méchant.
Ouais.
Alors lui, lui par contre, c'est vraiment un mannequin. C'est vraiment un top modèle, c'est un mannequin. C'est son
Mhm.
métier, c'est son métier. Il fait des photos, c'est son métier. Ils ont voulu choisir quelqu'un de très beau, top modèle, qui a un but, et quelqu'un de simple.
Mhm.
Voilà.
Mhm.
Et du coup, c'est le contraste de ça, d'aller, voilà. Et du coup, donc on a déjeuné. Et la journée, elle est passée, elle a passé, elle a passé, toute la journée est passée. Et moi, je ne tournais pas encore. Je dis, mais il est tard, il fait nuit, il est tard. Et donc, ils ont eu beaucoup de retard. Ils ont tourné toutes les scènes avec les figurants.
Ouais.
Et après, quand tout le monde a tourné, ils m'ont pris moi et ils m'ont dit, voilà, euh, tu vas te mettre au milieu. Et autour de toi, il va y avoir des rails. La caméra va être sur des rails, vous savez, qui tournent comme ça, la
Mhm.
caméra. Donc, du coup, on a tourné la scène. Elle m'a dit, il faut pas que tu la touches. Tu dois être dans l'acting, tu dois euh, être triste. Tu dois la regarder avec timidité
Ouais.
et tristesse.
Mhm. Mhm.
Et, euh, donc, j'ai regardé Indila. Ils ont tourné la caméra et on s'est regardé un peu timide, un peu regardé comme ça. Il y avait des jeux de regard en fait avec elle. Et à un moment donné, il y a une larme qui m'a coulé dans les yeux. Je ne sais pas pourquoi, parce que la scène, ça m'a touché. Et la larme, elle m'a coulé dans les yeux. Et c'est là, c'est au moment où. Et là, Indila, c'est vrai que elle m'a dit, waouh, tu pleures parce que bah, c'est la scène, elle est belle, tu vois. Elle est belle. Ça m'a beaucoup fait plaisir parce que quand on est acteur, on recherche la vérité du jeu.
Mhm.
Et c'était la vérité du jeu parce on avait vraiment une bonne complicité
Mhm.
avec Indila, très gentil. Et toute son équipe, ils m'ont accueilli vraiment bien.
Yes, in fact, when I was told that I'd got the role, I looked on Google and saw Indila, and I saw everything about her. And then I went to the Chateau Ferrier, and I went in the chateau, but I went in through the wrong door. I chose the wrong door, and I came in through the door that we see Indila enter in the video. But I was supposed to enter through the backstage door. I said, hello. And Indila said, oh, hello, Houari. And everyone turned to look at me. I didn't know why, but then I saw that a photo of me was in a photo with a green screen behind it. And when I entered, all the comedians who are in the video turned to look at me because they recognized me from the big photo. So I went in and they started working on me, doing my makeup and hair, and they gave me a sculptor's costume. Then they said, it's time to eat. Let's go and eat. So we went to eat. And there I saw all the great comedians, including Sebastian Engok, the Wicked Prince. He's really like a doll, a top model. His job is modeling for photos. They wanted to choose somebody very handsome and somebody simple. After lunch, the day continued to pass, and I still hadn't begun filming. They were behind schedule. They filmed all the scenes with the extras, and then, when everyone had finished filming, they took me and taught me to stand in the middle, and around me they put a camera on rails, which was turning. And then, when we did the filming, I was told that I should act very shy and not touch Indila. I should just act shy and sad. So I looked at Indila and the camera spun around us, and I remained looking shy. And at one moment, there was a tear which poured from my eye. I don't know why, but the scene touched me very much. And Indila said, "Wow, you're crying," because the scene was very beautiful. It made me very happy because when you're an actor, we try to find the truth of the role that we're playing. And there was good chemistry between me and Indila. So it seemed truthful. And all her team welcomed me very well.
Was the filming one whole day?
C'était toute la nuit. Pour moi, c'était toute la nuit. Toute
Ah,
la
la
nuit, toute la
nuit.
journée et toute la nuit. Oui, Indila, elle a tourné toute la nuit avec le froid, avec la fatigue. Elle a continué à tourner toute la nuit, jusqu'à la fin du tournage. Pourquoi? Parce qu'ils avaient loué un château. Ils
Ouais,
avaient loué un
ouais.
château, il fallait que ça soit tout terminé le lendemain. Et elle a tout tourné, elle avait froid, on lui a mis le truc. Elle est vraiment courageuse, vraiment, au niveau de l'acting, elle a fait. Et à la fin, elle a dit, mais moi, je mangeais en backstage avec les autres comédiens, et elle m'a dit, mais Houarî, mais viens avec nous manger. Elle m'a ramené dans sa loge et on a mangé ensemble. Donc, ça veut dire qu'elle est vraiment très gentille, cette femme, tu vois. Ça correspond au livre Dorian Gray d'Oscar Wilde. Et ben, c'est un peu comme ça. C'est quand on tue le tableau, la
Mhm.
personne, elle meurt. C'est un peu, ils se sont beaucoup inspirés de ça, d'Oscar Wilde. Et voilà. Et après, et après, j'ai dû revenir. Vous savez pourquoi j'ai dû revenir? Pas dans le château, en studio à Paris. Toutes les scènes du tableau que vous voyez,
Ouais.
j'ai dû les refaire. J'ai dû le faire dans un décor. Ils ont construit un décor
Mhm.
avec, s'il vous plaît, si vous voulez, c'est l'atelier du sculpteur, l'atelier du sculpteur.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Et
Mhm.
ils ont recréé tout ça. Et c'est là où ils m'ont demandé, ils m'ont donné de la bague, je donne la bague, et ils ont incrusté ça sur le tableau.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Dans le tableau, ils ont incrusté le. J'ai dû tourner une deuxième fois tout seul dans un studio pour faire le tableau.
For me, it was the whole day and the whole night. Indila filmed all night, with cold and with tiredness. She continued to film for the whole night, until the end of the filming. This was because they had hired the chateau for one day and night, so it all had to be completed before the next day. And she was very brave, continuing in the cold, and her acting level is very good. And at the end, when it was time to eat, I was expecting to eat backstage with the other actors, but Indila said, "Houari, come and eat with us." They took me into the dining room and we ate together. That shows that she's really kind. Do you know the book, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde? The video links to that and is inspired by that. When you kill the painting, the person dies. And then, on another day, I had to return, not to the chateau, but to a studio in Paris. I had to redo all the scenes with the painting. They made a background of a sculptor's workshop, and I offered Indila the ring, and they put them in the painting. So I had to film a second time on my own in the studio for the scenes inside the painting.
So it was a real production.
C'est une très grosse production. Ouais, ouais, ils ont beaucoup mis d'argent dessus. Beaucoup, beaucoup. Ouais. Ça va, ça a été. Ils ont mis beaucoup d'argent. Après, voilà, c'était une belle expérience pour moi. Vraiment, ça, c'était un beau tournage, un beau tournage.
Ouais.
It was a very big production. They spent a lot of money on it. It was a beautiful experience for me and a very good time filming.
So they spent a lot of money, so we can say that they expected the video to be popular, but did you think that the video would have more than 440 million views on YouTube?
Non,
Non.
non, non, pas du tout, pas du tout. Vous savez, moi, je suis comédien, je suis acteur, donc je fais les clips, je fais les films, je fais les clips. Je fais déjà des spectacles aussi pour les enfants.
Mhm.
J'aime beaucoup faire plein de choses à spectacle, tournage. Et quand j'ai fait ce clip, jamais, jamais de la vie, j'aurais pensé que ça fasse autant de vues. Jamais de la vie. Je pensais que c'était un clip comme n'importe quel clip. Vous savez, les clips, ils passent. Il y en a des milliers qui passent des clips dans le
Mhm.
monde entier. Je
Ouais.
pensais pas que ça allait faire autant de vues. Non, je pensais pas ça. Eux-mêmes, ils pensaient pas ça.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
Indila a fait plein de chansons. Elle a fait SOS, elle a fait d'autres chansons. Et elle pensait pas que ça fasse autant de vues. Ça me fait plaisir. Merci encore hein, pour les fans. Merci pour les fans.
Mhm.
Vraiment, ils sont extraordinaires.
No, no, not at all. Not at all. As an actor and comedian, I make a lot of shows for children. And when I made this video, I did not expect at all that it would receive so many views. Never in my life. It seems to be known across the whole world. Thank you again to the fans. It's really extraordinary.
When I used to look at the comments on YouTube, there were often many, many comments asking who the actor was who played the sculptor. I think you were more popular than Sebastian Nock. Sorry to him.
Je savais pas. Vraiment, je savais pas. Vraiment. Vraiment, je savais pas. Bah, dites mon nom, hein, c'est pas grave. Dites que c'est moi, comme ça fait de la pub et pourquoi pas tourner en Angleterre. Hein. Moi, ça me plairait beaucoup, hein,
Mhm, mhm,
bien sûr.
mhm.
Is that true? I didn't know, really. You can say my name.
Thank you, Houarî. I thank you again for the backstage stories.
Non, je remercie les fans parce que des fois, je reçois des messages de gens qui me disent ah, on a bien aimé ton clip. Moi, ça me fait beaucoup plaisir parce que le travail qu'on a fait, ça touche les gens. Vous voulez, quand on est acteur, on aime bien toucher les gens, faire de l'émotion, que les gens apprécient notre travail. Et vraiment, ça me fait énormément plaisir que les gens apprécient mon travail. Vraiment, merci beaucoup. Merci à vous, vraiment.
Thank you to the fans because sometimes I get messages from fans saying, we loved you in the video. That makes me very happy because it shows that the work we do touches people. As an actor, I love touching people and stirring emotion. It makes me really happy that people appreciate our work. Thank you.
Thank you. You're a big part of the universe of Indila. Thank you for that.
Ben, je vous remercie à vous.
Merci
Merci
beaucoup.
de
Merci.
continuer à faire vivre cette expérience. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you for letting me relive the experience.
So thank you for having your time. For the next episode, we will be talking about SOS, which was really popular in Greece and Turkey. So stay tuned. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. See you next week. Bye bye.